Good morning, everybody. Oh man, yeah. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Phil here. Well, I'm here in as full of a capacity as I can be. After yesterday, oh my god. As you can hear, my throat does not sound good today. It is swollen. After yesterday, yesterday was a very different kind of day, where I talked on stream nonstop with zero gameplay for about 7 hours. Um, in retrospect, that was a bad idea, especially because I got up early yesterday to cover the Xbox and Bethesda showcase event. Keep in mind, this week is really the first week where I am doing all these live React events and covering a lot of things. This is technically E3 week, even though it's not, because there's no E3 anymore. But basically, this week was a humongous week for games in general, gaming news, the launch of new services, as we're about to see momentarily after the podcast here. It was a giant week for video games. And you guys expressed the desire to see me cover all this stuff live rather than doing how I used to do. All right. By the way, I should say today's date. Today is Monday, the 13th of June, 2022. Welcome to the PreStream podcast. I am going to do my best today to continue on and do a full day of streaming for you, regardless of the fact that I know I'm not going to sound good. I'm going to try to just talk lightly as I am right now. Okay. And, hopefully I'll be able to get through today, because today we're doing tons of different stuff yet again. I mean, a big variety of stuff today that's not normally the kind of stuff that I would do on my streams. Okay. So what's going on? Well, this weekend, or I should say over the course of this week, I covered multiple live React events, including Summer Game Fest back on Thursday. And then yesterday I did the Xbox and Bethesda event, all while still doing my full pre-stream podcasts every day. And then I did recap reactions after those, which is what I used to do before I did the live reacts, which is just me talking and summarizing what we just saw at those events and giving you my full thoughts on them, which is very different from the live react. When you're live reacting, you have very little time to say much. It's just your first time seeing something. You say, oh my goodness, and then it's already gone and you're on to the next topic. As opposed to when you're doing the recap reactions, now I had time to have these topics kind of seep in, and I have as much time as I want to talk about each topic to give a full opinion. So they're definitely two very different kinds of content. I didn't do the live reacts previously. I only did the recap reactions, and now I'm doing both essentially back to back. Okay? So it was definitely an interesting weekend, to say the least. Today, again, will be variety, because today we're checking out the new PlayStation Plus tiers that just launched overnight in the North American region. So we're going to see exactly what's in them, what's available on them. We're going to try some of it, download a couple quick games, try to do one of the live streaming games on PlayStation 3. We're going to try out all these services in the next couple of hours. And then after we do that, there is another live event today, if you can believe it. Capcom is doing their own little mini showcase at 3 p.m. Pacific time, where they're going to follow up and give additional information on things that they have already announced. Okay? And so that's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific time. All right? I hope you guys will stick around for that. Okay? And we're going to do live react, just like I did with all the other events, and then I'm going to do recap reactions after that, after the fact. Okay? Okay. That's the first stream today. Tonight, the late stream, we're finishing The Quarry. We actually have the final chapter and then the epilogue to do in The Quarry tonight. So that should be interesting as well, to wrap up the new release for the week before we head into a whole new week when I come back on Wednesday. All right? So, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun doing all this stuff for you this week. Very different from the kind of content that I would usually put out, which is typically just a podcast and then a bunch of gameplay. But, man, has it taken a toll on me. All right? These days when I'm doing a podcast, talking for an hour and a half, then I'm doing a live react for 2 hours, then I'm doing a recap reactions for an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 hours in a row in some of these cases with pretty much little to no break. And yesterday was basically the straw that broke the camel's back. I had to get up early, so I lost 2 hours of sleep in order to do this live react to the Xbox Bethesda showcase. Why these companies think it's a good idea to do these in the morning for the West Coast. I have no idea. But it is what it is. They do what they do. So losing 2 hours plus talking for 6-7 hours straight, my voice was completely destroyed. I was insanely tired after the first stream. I ate dinner with my wife. We had tuna casserole, and I ate, and I was like, I just don't feel good. Really, I feel terrible right now. She's like, why don't you just go upstairs and lay down on the bed, you know, and relax, and hopefully you'll feel better for your second stream. So I go and lay down. I passed out for 2 hours. I didn't even realize I was going to go to sleep. I'm just going to rest my eyes, and I was out. I woke up, and I had to rush in order to take a shower and then be here for the second stream of the quarry. I did make it. And we did the quarry last night. And by the end of the night, I felt absolutely awful. All right. So basically last night, I barely talked. All right. I basically tried to conserve my voice. You know, I did get a good night's rest, you know, and this is how I sound today. And there's not much I can do about it, you know. It is what it is. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if doing the live reacts is really worth it. Especially, look at this. I've been doing it for, what, a few days? And listen to how I sound. I feel like shit. You know, why did I bother? I'll be honest, like, I don't think that the live reacts do that much or add that much. Just because everyone else on fucking YouTube does it doesn't mean that it adds value to my content. Okay? I'm just being honest here. I really feel like doing those stupid live reacts took out a lot of time this week. And I don't necessarily think that there was much... how can I say? I don't think that there was much demand for it. I think that there's a group of people that are so brainwashed into thinking that the live reacts are so, oh my God, everyone's got to do it. Everyone does it, right? And people have been asking all week, I should say all year, are you going to do it this year? Now you're doing react content to other things. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like, if you take a look at the views on YouTube are not great on the live react stuff I've done. They're just not. All right? In some cases, my recap reactions have done better than the live reacts. If you take a look at Summer Game Fest, you know, that I did a few days ago, and you look at the live react versus the recap reactions that I did after it, the recap reactions, that video did better than every video of the live react. People preferred to hear my more summarized and more formulated opinion. Okay? And I'm going to be honest with you again. All right? The support just hasn't been great for these live reacts. You know? In some cases, I think if I'd done a day of gameplay, the day of gameplay would have been better for support on the stream than the live react. Like yesterday, I got almost no support until I started the Q&A session, which was after all of it. Yeah, it was after the live react. It was after my recap reactions. Really, people, Phil's going to do a Q&A, and then they came and started, and I got some tips and stuff, and it was like, wow, you wait till the last hour of like a 7-hour stream, you know? So, here's the thing, you know, these are all things I have to think of. My health, you know, the amount of support that I get, these are all important things I have to think of, because without that, you know, I can't operate a business. If I can't talk, I can't make content, right? If I can't raise funds to pay my bills, I still can't make content. You see what I'm saying? So, I honestly, I don't know. I really don't know if I should keep doing them or not. I'm still going to do the Capcom one today like we planned. Now, there was a rumor there was going to be a Nintendo Direct this week. There's not anymore. The rumor is now that the Nintendo Direct will be at the end of the month. I'll definitely tell you this. I absolutely am not going to be doing live reacts for early shit. There's no reason to get up fucking early and change my entire streaming schedule and kill myself for this stuff. There's just not. Yesterday was stupid. It's so dumb that I'm literally losing hours of sleep to get up and do it live just for them not to really have much going on. I mean, take a look at what was in that presentation, right? Outside of, you know, the announcement that Kojima is going to be making an Xbox game and Starfield's first gameplay. Was there anything else there of any substance? Not really. That's something that easily could have just been covered by just watching it online later or doing a recap reactions later. There's no reason to do that, you know? So it is what it is, all right? I just feel like after this week, I feel tired and beat up. I really do. And again, variety is good. I like doing variety, but I look back over the course of the week, I sound and feel like shit. And actually, in reality, this is a slower supported week than if I just done gameplay. It actually has been slower this week than if I just did gameplay. So, these are all things for me to consider. All right? It is. These are all things for me to consider. Now, I'll say this up front. Today, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could support the stuff I'm doing. All right? Tomorrow's my day off. As of today, as of right now, I don't have enough to even have my day off tomorrow. I have enough to maybe get groceries and pet supplies and get a haircut, which is some of the things I'm going to do. Right now, I don't even have enough to have a meal with my wife. That's the situation I'm in. Because of this week, I actually got less support because I did the React events. Okay? So today, if you could, tip would be great. Tipping, that's the funds that I get right away that I can use for my day off tomorrow. I don't want to talk about it all day. I'll get tired of it. I get tired of fucking mentioning it. But it's a concern. It's a major thing. Because I need to be able to have a day off once a week. And it's annoying that I worked my ass off this week. I sound like shit. And I actually did worse performance-wise with support because I did something different. Yeah, it does. It's annoying. So I hope that today things will turn around. I hope that we'll hit some tips goals. I'm doing 2 full streams today. I'm covering PS Plus. I'm doing the Capcom React. And I'm doing the Quarry tonight. You would think between the 2 streams, I do all right, but yesterday I didn't even make $100 between the 2 streams, So let's see what happens, over the course of today. Hopefully things go well and people will support and it won't be a concern. I can have a day off tomorrow to relax and not have to be worried and stressed out about this shit. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about what we're doing today. Let's talk about, actually what I really want to talk about is yesterday because, man, the internet really reacted differently to the Xbox Bethesda showcase. Let me tell you. I've actually seen completely different attitudes towards the Xbox Bethesda showcase. Some really liked it. Some hated it. Like, wow. And I want to talk about that because it definitely seems different. Okay? All right. Anyway, what are we doing today? So first things first, we're going to be doing the new PlayStation Plus tiers. Yes, I know my webcam doesn't fit right now. I changed my service over from standard PlayStation Plus to, which I think they call it Essential, because they have the new tiers today. I changed it over to PS Plus Premium, which is the high-end subscription service. Okay? So today for 2 hours, we're going to be checking this out. We're going to be seeing what games are on here, downloading and playing a few, see how they run. Trying out the PS3 streaming and the like. We're going to do a lot today, okay? In the 2 hours, we're going to be doing quite a lot there with PlayStation Plus Premium. Then, then I'm going to be doing the Capcom Showcase Live React and then my recap reactions. That starts at 3 p.m. So essentially what I'm thinking is we'll do about, 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5 hours of the PlayStation Plus, and then we'll go on a quick break, like a 15-minute break, and then I'll come back around 2:45. So we'll probably go on break around 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, and then I'll come back around 2:45. We'll swap over, and we'll get that going, and I'll live react to the half-hour show, and then I'll do recap reactions after. Okay, so that's the stream. Two hours or so, roughly, of exploring the PlayStation Plus service, and then about, an hour of me reacting live to the Capcom event. All right, that's the first stream. Then, I have my break between the streams. When I come back later tonight, it'll be the conclusion of the Quarry at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. We have Chapter 10 to do, which I believe is around an hour long, depending on your choices. And then there's an epilogue that apparently people are saying is 30 minutes long, but it's weird. The epilogue is an entire 30-minute podcast show. That's the podcast that's referenced many times during the game. And apparently, depending on your choices in the game, the podcast changes to talk about what happened at Hackett's Creek or whatever it's called. So that'll be interesting to see how it ends tonight. Okay? So that's my streaming day. I'm off tomorrow. Now, when I come back on Wednesday, we're back to business as usual. The React stuff is all done now, and we go back to regularly scheduled gameplay. So Wednesday, I'm going to attempt to beat all the leftover playthroughs. We're going to do WWE 2K22 My Rise mode on the first stream, and my goal is to finish that playthrough hopefully by the end. All right? And then the late stream on Wednesday is the conclusion of Uncharted 2, which has now been in limbo for a week, and I've been so busy with the React stuff, we haven't really gotten to it. We're going to get to it on Wednesday night, okay? All right, then on Thursday, new stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge comes out, and I'll be playing that as a new release Thursday during the day. Thursday night, I believe we're going to be doing some late night Skyrim. Okay, and then on Friday, I think what we're going to do is a full day of playing stuff here on PlayStation Plus Premium. Because I think after only an hour and a half, 2 hours of it today, that's not going to be enough. So I think we'll have a full day of it on Friday. Full exploration, download some classic games, try playing them, see how they run. Again, try other PS3 games, see what the demos are like. Because actually there's a couple games that I might want to demo, and I'm curious how that works. So that's going to be Friday's mainstream. And then Friday night is the final ever stream of the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. We're retiring the game after Friday night. Okay? So that's just a little preview of the stuff that I'll be doing for the first half of the week. The second half of the week is up in the air. We'll see how things go and kind of play it by ear. Okay? Okay, cool. So, by the way, something else that I want to mention. This morning, YouTube has a bunch of glitches. As of right now, I'm unable to check out the monetization tab on YouTube, and other menus also are not properly loading for me. And I don't know why. It looks like someone just did a super chat, no problem. And I'm assuming the memberships are still working. Yeah, I don't know why. It looks like they screwed something up overnight because it worked for last night's late stream. But as of right now, I can't even see how many members I have on the channel. I don't know if I lost some overnight or gained some. I can't see. The only way you can see is by going into the membership menu on YouTube, and there's a thing you click to find it. It doesn't load. I think they screwed something up overnight, but I'm just hoping that all the functionality is working for you guys, okay? It seems like everything is. You know, I haven't heard anything bad from YouTube or whatever. I think it's just another glitch on YouTube's end, because YouTube glitches all the time and has these issues. So I think that they're just having some kind of an ongoing issue, you know, behind the scenes. Hoping that it'll work later today, because it sucks. What I hate is that I like doing live updates for you guys on how the channel's doing. It's cool to say, oh, guess what? Today we hit a new record for members, right, on the channel. We actually did. Yesterday we hit 628 members. That's the most I've ever had on this channel. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. 628 members, right? Celebrate. It just sucks that right now I can't do that. I can't live update it because the menu doesn't exist. It says, oh, error when you try to load it. It's very odd that this is happening right now, and I don't know what's causing it, but it doesn't look like it's anything that I can help, and it looks like everything's still working for you guys. You're still able to do everything normally, so I think it's just something they did in the coding, and behind the scenes, they screwed up a menu. Okay? All right. So, there you go. That's what's going on today. And I'll just say in advance, thank you to anyone who contributes in any way today. I really appreciate the help, especially with tips, so I can have a nice day off tomorrow with my wife. That'll be really nice, okay? All right. So, I want to talk a little bit about yesterday's Xbox and Bethesda showcase, okay? Because, you know, if you go back and you watch my live react to it, which, by the way, both videos got claimed fully for music. I knew it. There was a ridiculous amount. Yes, Beastbot, I got your tip. There was a ridiculous amount of licensed music in that show. Over the top amount of licensed music. So anyone who did a live react to that got slammed. No one's going to be able to monetize those videos because of that stupid music. Okay? So, my overall opinion, just to summarize, because I know many of you probably already watched it, but just to summarize, is that there was some good stuff, there was some bad stuff. In general, I think the major focus of that presentation was supposed to be Starfield. That's why it was the closing of the show. But to me, I don't think that Starfield looked very good. I think that Starfield looked like No Man's Sky with a few other things tossed in. I don't think the gunplay looked good. I don't think the graphics looked good. I don't think the gameplay looked good. I just thought it was kind of meh. Seriously, I was like, not really a big deal or anything. Okay? I did think that there was some good things in there. For example, that game, I think it's called As Dusk Falls. I didn't even realize this, but apparently people are saying the dev team working on As Dusk Falls is essentially some of the same people who actually made Heavy Rain over a decade ago. And that's kind of, what they're going for, is that they wanted to do like a follow-up to Heavy Rain, a different style of game, but, kind of the spiritual successor to that kind of game, which may be why the actor who played Scott Shelby is actually in it. Like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's kind of interesting. So, there were some good things in that show. Definitely there were. But you know me. I'm an honest guy. I'm going to tell you what I liked, what I didn't like. And overall, did I think the show was underwhelming? Yeah, I did. I think that they made this choice. They said it right at the beginning of the show. Sarah Bond came on the show and said, okay, we've made the decision that this show is only going to show you games coming out in the next 12 months, and we're going to try to preview games that you're going to be able to play in a year. All right? So immediately, by doing that and by not previously having announced that before the show started, I think you disappointed half your audience. Because I think half the audience watching that show wanted to see updates on other games that are just not coming in the next year. There's so many franchises, right? They could have done an Elder Scrolls update. They could have talked about a new Wolfenstein game. They could have said, hey, what's the status of maybe these characters we've been waiting for new content from, like Banjo-Kazooie or Crash Bandicoot, which you now own. Seriously, there were so many people who were speculating on the internet before that showcase what they were going to see, but 99% of the speculation was for stuff that definitely was not coming out within a year. So immediately when they say, oh, this is only going to cover a year, that's going to disappoint a lot of people. Why didn't they say that up front? All right, and some people are speculating, but here's my take. I don't think they wanted to disappoint people and have people tune out. Because if you say, the only thing we're going to cover is things in the next year, some people might be like, well, I know there's really not much going on the next year that I'm interested in. I'm interested in this, so I'm just going to tune out. And they didn't want that. They wanted to have record views. They wanted to advertise, oh, look how many people watch this broadcast in this short amount of time. They live on metrics. They live on these visible metrics of trying to promote how popular and how well they did. So if immediately up front you're honest with everyone and you say, hey, we're only showing stuff coming out in the next year, so that means most of the stuff you're interested in won't be in the show, boom, you immediately have killed your viewers, right? Like half of them aren't even going to tune in and like, screw this, right? And in addition, see, Darziak made an interesting point. Not Darziak, excuse me. Dabhands made an interesting point. He says, and even with them only presenting games that were supposed to come out in the next year, how many had real release dates? Not many. Most of them were like a season. You know what I mean? Or a year. Oh, coming out in 2023. Gee, thanks. That really helps me to know when it's, you know what I mean? So I don't even think that it did that good of a deal, or that good of a job of even covering games in the next year when you still don't know when in the next year the game's coming out, right? So definitely there's valid criticism there, all right? Now, as for some of the big announcements, one of the big announcements was that all the Persona games are coming to Xbox consoles, PC, and Game Pass, including Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal, right? I'm happy about that. I would love to maybe replay those games one day in the definitive versions to have more content than my original playthroughs of them. And the fact that it's actually on Game Pass is excellent. You don't have to pay anything extra outside of your Game Pass subscription. Cool. But did you know that they're also coming to PlayStation? You probably didn't. They announced it on the Xbox show, but those games are also coming to PlayStation. Right now it's unclear, but they may also be under PS Plus, but it hasn't been outright said yet if it is or isn't going to be under there. But they are coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 as well. A lot of people didn't know that because, how would you know that? It's the Xbox show. Of course, they're not going to say that. Okay? Now, the other announcement that got a lot of interesting, how can I say, opposing views was the announcement that Hideo Kojima is now in tandem with them, working with them to make an exclusive new game that's going to use cloud technology, and it's going to be a game that is exclusive to Xbox and PC. It will not be on PlayStation stuff, okay? So some people were thrilled. Others not so much, particularly the whole Sony fanboy crowd was up in arms about this. They were freaking out. They're like, what does this mean for the partnership of Kojima Productions and Sony Interactive Entertainment? He said he had a partnership with them to make games, and now he's making for Xbox, and he's a defector, and now we don't like him. And meh, meh, meh. Like, geez, man. You do realize that these game developers don't have to only work with one platform. Perhaps it was a strategic partnership for Death Stranding, but now he wants to branch out and do other stuff. And if he sees technology that is different on one console over the other, and he wants to take advantage of that to make something unique, why should he stifle his creative vision because it's on a different console? Like, this just, it kind of like makes me shake my head at how these people act. Seriously. It's really stupid. They're freaking out about his fanboy bullshit. If you like Kojima, right, then you just like Kojima. You like his content, you like the games he puts out. Why is it you're going to limit yourself to one console or platform or another, right? I think what it is, a lot of people, when they, years ago, they announced that Kojima Productions was going to do that team up with Sony Interactive, they jumped on the Sony bandwagon and, oh, see, because Kojima's over there, it's all Sony all day long, man, Sony, Sony, Sony. And now you come to realize, actually, he's not a Sony fanboy. He's doing what's right for his company and his products. And, oh, no. Oh, I backed the wrong horse. No, you didn't back the wrong horse. You get too riled up about shit. Seriously. Anyway, so yeah, it was funny because you saw some people freaking out on the internet over this, that he's working with Xbox now, and they're all, oh, I feel betrayed. What are you talking about? You feel betrayed? Kojima is not your fan, first of all. He's not your friend. You're not in a relationship with Hideo Kojima. You just play his games. He didn't betray you because he's going to another studio to make another game. You're an idiot. These people are nuts. Good Lord. Okay. But now, of course, the big thing, right? The big thing yesterday, that was the big topic of discussion and the big thing of contention, all right, was definitely Starfield. It just seems like there's no consensus right now on Starfield based on what we saw yesterday. Some people seem to be in love with it. They're like, oh my God. Oh, this is so good. Oh, it's space exploration. Oh, space combat. Oh, you could. Oh, jetpack and flying around and exploring. Oh, build your own spaceship. Oh, make your own base on. Oh, go to. I swear, you feel like these people are orgasming as they're talking about the game. Oh, I'm gonna go to the settlement and talk to people. Oh, yeah. Like, oh my God. Holy shit. Calm down, right? Then you got people completely on the other polar end, and they're like, wow, this game looks like shit. It plays like shit. It's shit. Look, it's definitely No Man's Sky. I saw people making big arguments, that Sean Murray should sue them. That Sean Murray should be like, dude, you blatantly lifted my game. Like 10 things that were presented yesterday are all things that were present in No Man's Sky. It's like they literally copied him, only they tried to do better because they had a budget. And a lot of people criticizing the looks of the game. First of all, they oddly chose to present the game in 4K resolution and 30 frames per second. But the weird thing about that was most people couldn't watch the live stream in 4K. I was supposed to be watching it in 1080p, and it frequently got pixely on me, even though I was watching the 1080p stream. So, because they oddly chose a really high resolution, they kind of nerfed their presentation. It didn't look that good because, it was running choppy. I don't know why they chose to do that. That was a really odd choice. I think maybe if they had even done 720p or 1080p at 60 frames, it would have ended up looking way better. When it came to the detail of the graphics and the detail of the characters, it's funny because people have been taking still frames of the NPCs and realizing that all the NPCs are cross-eyed. They are. What they did is, it's so weird because other games have solved this issue. all right? Basically, the human eye, all right? You have two of them. I don't know if you realize this. Most people have two eyes. Some people only have one. Most people have two. So the way the human eye works is that each eye has to find a focal point. And in general, they focus similarly at something. Sometimes they don't. You cross your eyes, right? Now you don't. Now you look cross-eyed, okay? But games have had this issue in the past where the two eyes don't properly focus on the same point. And because of that, the character will look kind of cross-eyed. But then they fixed it. For this game, for some reason, they didn't fix it. Like, they're using old technology that other studios have found out a way to fix this problem with their NPCs, and this game, everyone looks cross-eyed. Why? And again, people are like, look at the NPCs in the game. They just don't look right, right? They kind of look like moving mannequins. They don't look realistic, and it's weird because other game studios have fixed this issue. They found a way around it, and it was actually funny. People were showing Horizon Forbidden West side by side with Starfield, and you're like, here's a game, first party game, right? So it's only for one studio, one console, 4 years in development. Here's what they came up with. Here's a game supposedly 10 years in development, third party, and look what they came up with. It's terrible. It's not even in comparison. Take a look at the NPCs of the two games. Horizon looks insanely better. Okay? Don't even get me started on the combat. I mean, everyone is tearing this game apart for the combat. I mean, I'll be honest, the combat looks like shit. It doesn't look unique. Like when you play Fallout, okay? What's unique about the combat? Well, it starts off as an FPS, but then you've got VATS, right? And the VATS dramatically changes the way the combat pans out. In addition, based on the upgrades and perks that you've bought, the combat has a ton of variables, right? In this game, it literally looks like you're playing a shitty third-person shooter. It just looks terrible. The enemies are bad. They have terrible AI. It's like they panic and run around like idiots, waving their arms above their heads instead of fighting you. What's the point of having an experience bar and a health bar and all of that above their heads if it really doesn't play like an RPG? A lot of people were expecting more RPG-style mechanics, and the game right now looks like it's a crappy first-person shooter, like it's generic gameplay. So, yeah, these are, by the way, these are not my criticisms. These are criticisms that I found on the internet overnight. Like I said, it seems like one camp is 100%, oh my God, this game is absolutely insanely good. And the other side is, oh my God, this game is absolutely insanely bad. There's a really big dichotomy here on the internet, okay? I don't know, what I also saw, and this was kind of interesting, it seems like content creators. Now, when I say that, I mean people who are actually making streams and video content for the internet, in particular for YouTube in this case, seem to be criticizing it heavily, saying, man, I forgot one other thing. I got to bring this one up, because this is one I directly said yesterday, and I want to bring it up again because I feel this is a big criticism of the game. So they're claiming that Starfield is going to have, like 1,000 planets you can visit, but they're randomly generated, procedurally generated, I should say. And then there'll be certain planets that have story-based content on them. So immediately when you hear that, some people freak out and are like, oh my God, that's going to be an insane amount of content. And others are like, what are you talking about? Did you not play No Man's Sky? It's the same premise. We've already tried procedural generation. It doesn't work. It's boring. You end up with barren, boring planets. There's even been mainstream news articles, like PC Gamer had a big article, like an expose saying, if Starfield really has 1,000 planets, there's no way they're all going to be good, and I'd rather have it have 10 good planets than 1,000 bad ones. I kind of have to agree with that sentiment. Like, if you're playing a game, right? Wouldn't you rather have a game that has 10 really well-designed, hand-designed worlds, unique and interesting situations that were directed to have fun moments and content in them? And you go between these 10 planets during the course of the game, and they're different environments, different kinds of races and cities, and things that you come up across. Maybe there's one planet, it's all politics. There's another planet, it's all combat. Then there's other planets that there's a hybrid, right? Oh, on this planet, you have to fight a bunch of indigenous wildlife. On this planet, it's all about people that live there and troops and guerrilla warfare. Maybe there's factions fighting each other for control of the planet. Like, there's all these ideas you could come up with, right? And they all would work. But instead, they're like, oh, instead of that, there's going to be 1,000 randomly generated planets. Like, huh? And again, it's not like this is the first time this has been tried. No Man's Sky tried it, So there's a track record to show that this will not work. The track record says, no, this will be boring, don't do it. But they seem to be doing it anyway. Like, they don't care. you know? But at the same time, a lot of people seem to be like fanboying over it. Oh, well, Bethesda knows what they're doing. They're better than Sean Murray. They know better. This will be way better than No Man's Sky. You know, maybe they learned from the mistakes of No Man's Sky. So people are fighting about this all over the internet, okay? But an interesting dichotomy that I found is that it seems content creators, meaning people who make videos and stuff for YouTube, are essentially criticizing the game heavily, saying for a first reveal, this didn't reveal much positive stuff. You know, the gunplay really looks bad. The graphics at this point are nothing to write home about at all. They look like graphics from last gen. I agree, they actually do. They don't look good to me at all. The character models aren't great. I agree. I don't think they look that great at all. I think that Horizon Forbidden West did a way better job than this. And it's just too similar to other stuff that we've seen. Where's the innovation? You know, we've been waiting so long for this game. We're waiting for something unique and innovative. And what have they announced that's innovative about Starfield? Nothing. Like everything you've done in another game. So that's what the content creators are saying. Okay? But then I'm looking at people on social media. I'm looking at the independent journalists that are out there. All right? And what I'm seeing from them seems to be a completely different spin. That we're still early on. The game's not out yet. And what is it with content creators being so overly negative? I swear content creators don't like video games. They just make content for clickbait. And, you know, they're feeling positive about the game. So, man, I don't know. You know, like, I can, the thing is, I do believe that we're too early to make a giant definitive judgment about Starfield. I feel that way. Like, we saw our first look yesterday. That was the first time we saw anything in it. I mean, after all the hype and bullshit, we finally got to see the game. At least we know, you know, what they're doing, and we know what direction they're going. You know, that doesn't mean that's the end game product. That doesn't mean it won't improve, and that doesn't mean that's all that's in the game either. All we saw was a first look. That was the whole intention of that presentation, was to give everyone a first impression of what the game will be. I do feel it's too early to completely look at this game and slam it and write it off and be like, oh, this sucks ass. I think that's really stupid mindset to have. If anything, I would like more information. I'd like to wait 2-3 months, have them come back to us with another presentation and say, here's some other things we're working on. Here's some updates based on your feedback. That's what I would like to have. Okay? But at the same time, I mean, you got to be honest about yourself. Were you completely blown away by that presentation yesterday? Be very honest with yourself now. I want everyone who's listening to this right now, just think. What did you see in the Starfield presentation, okay, that makes you say that's going to be game of the year? Because whenever I look at a AAA game, that's the question I ask myself. What's going to happen in this game? What gameplay element? What story? What world design? Is it the graphics? What about this game is going to make me think this is game of the year material? This is like going to be my best gameplay experience of the year. This is going to resonate with me for a very long time. Okay? From what I saw yesterday, I didn't see that. I saw a game where, okay, will there be a lot of content? Yes. Will you be going through a lot of motions? You're going to build your ship, fly it around, land on a planet, explore, grab resources, clear out a base, you know, get some more loot, fly again, go to another place, do that. Oh, well, let's just do the story now. Okay, go to the story mission. Now there's a script. You follow the script. You kill some enemies. You do a checkpoint. You do a story choice. You do this. It's kind of like going through the motions, you know? They didn't show me anything that was like, oh, this absolutely is something that's going to be unique and a memorable experience. You know, like I said, if I had never played No Man's Sky, okay, and I didn't know anything about No Man's Sky, then maybe, all right, I would have said, wow, space exploration, building your own base, resource gathering, this could be fun. I felt that way about No Man's Sky in 2016 when it was coming out. I felt very positive about it. I mean, we know what happened with that. I don't need to go into detail about that. That's not what we're talking about today. But, you know, the point I'm making here is we've kind of been there, done that. We've now seen what a game like that can do, what a game like that can be, what kind of fun you can have with a game like that. You know what I mean? So combining the whole No Man's Sky style space exploration with elements from other Bethesda games, like a Fallout town, right? You're walking through and interacting with the NPCs or whatever. I guess I can understand the potential, but that's what it is. It's potential. Yesterday, I didn't see anything there that like screamed at me, oh, here's something that's going to be absolutely amazing, and you've never seen this before, right? And you're really going to be blown away if you play our game. And that's sad. This is a game that's been in development for how long, right? When you play Fallout, you know there's unique things to the Fallout universe that aren't like other games. When you play Elder Scrolls, right? You feel the same. When you play a Doom game, a Wolfenstein game, all those Bethesda games have a unique identity. They do. This game doesn't feel like it has any unique identity. It feels like they copied No Man's Sky and combined it with Fallout. And they said, here's your game. Like, but I played those before. Did I really need to tape this with this? Fallout Man's Sky, No Man's Fallout? I don't need that. Right? You have to sell me on a reason why this is a unique gameplay experience and I want to experience it. I can go play those games separately and not have to play your amalgamation game. And then on top of that, it doesn't look that good either. Like the graphics and stuff, you know what I mean? Like we just had a slew of games come out, like I just said, Horizon Forbidden West, that look amazing. So then when this comes out and this is what it is, yeah. So anyway, yeah, the internet is abuzz with this. Lots of disagreement, lots of confusion. I guess at least getting any discussion is better than none. And up to this point, it was just like blatant blind fanboyism about that this game was going to be so good. And I think that's what it is too. That's one of the factors here is when you have a group of people that are such fanboys. Oh my God, Starfield, one of the most anticipated games, and I can't wait. Like, wait, what? We don't even know anything about the game yet. How could it be one of the most anticipated games? Just because it's made by Bethesda? That didn't make any sense to me. Now at least, all right, now at least we know what the game is, and if you want to get hyped for it, you have a reason to get hyped for it. But up to yesterday, there was literally zero reason to get hyped for this game because we didn't even know what it was yet, right? So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's that there was just so much blatant, blind fanboyism that there was just bound to be a backlash. And that's what's happened now, is now that we know what the game is, see, the game's not even that good, so you have no right to be such a fanboy over the game up to this point, right? And I think also, there was a whole feeling of, again, I hate to say it, fanboyism towards Xbox, because now Bethesda is owned by Microsoft. So, of course, yes, Starfield will be an Xbox and PC exclusive. So you're going to have people, again, the people who were the Kojima fanboys, and were so happy that Kojima was on Sony. Oh, wait, he's going to Xbox? Ah, well, fuck that. Fuck everything Xbox. So fuck Starfield, and fuck this, and fuck you. You know? I just never understood that. I'm happy that I own both consoles. I'm grateful that I can play games on both. So I don't have to be put into that perspective of a fanboyish mentality that everything has to be on my console or whatever, right? Okay. Anyway. Interesting situation. I'm curious how things will unfold over the next several months. Likely we will have way more information regarding this game soon. And when we do, great, right? I'm excited to have more information. Right now, it's kind of a wait-and-see attitude, right? Okay. All right. So, by the way, thank you for that tip. Outside of that, I'm really just trying to think if there's anything else really that I want to cover on today's podcast today. I think really there's not that much to talk about because we're about to have a day of news. We're about to check out PlayStation Plus Premium together. By the way, I want to explain that system of how it works when you upgrade your standard old PlayStation Plus to the new tiers, but I'm going to do it in the video for that. Originally, I was going to do it on the podcast, and I said, you know what? Let me hold off because I got a story to tell you guys. You got to be careful. They actually, I don't know how this is still legal. They auto sign you up for something you didn't agree to. I upgraded from my old PlayStation Plus account to the new premium service, and then they just immediately signed me up for a whole year auto renew service. I never agreed to that. They didn't even tell me how much it cost. I was just signed up for it already. I was like, what? How? You didn't even tell me the pricing and you have me agreed to a contract. No, I never agreed. You're full of shit. And these services do this shit all the time. They fucking rope you into auto renewing services for a price they don't even quote you. And now all of a sudden I'm paying for it? Like, you're out of your mind. So anyway, I'm going to explain that when we do. I don't want to jump the gun here. I'm going to explain that when we actually start exploring the service so that people can avoid that issue. Okay? Okay. Anyway, so outside of that, yeah, I don't really have much else to go on or talk about here. So I think what we'll do, let's do some shout outs for people who've contributed. And then what we'll do is maybe open up the Q&A. And if we even end the podcast early, that's fine. We'll have a little bit more time to explore PlayStation Plus together. Okay? Okay, so. Well, let us take a look. The first contribution of today was from Pool King 221, who did a $10 super chat and says, Phil, what game would you say pissed you off or could have been improved upon? I mean, 1 of 5 zillion. I mean, you have to be way more specific than that. I mean, there's been a million games like that, right? There's been a million games that didn't live up to the expectations of the hype, that ended up being very deflating when they finally released. So, if you have a more specific request, time frame, a genre, tell me in the stream chat. You don't have to do a super chat again. Just tell me in the stream chat, and I'll see if I can answer. But that's way too specific. I could sit here and rattle off a million games. Exactly. B-Boy Cyclone says Street Fighter 5. Okay, there you go. There's one. There's a big one. Lies of Our Soul re-upped his membership for 2 months, and he says PS Classic Dark Cloud 1 is a great chill game. Well, there you go. He's making a recommendation already. We haven't even started our exploration, and we already have a recommendation. There you go. Okay. So now we get to tips. All right? Jade, I'm glad that you'll be here all day. Awesome. Oh, wait. Jason Sybil just re-upped his membership for 8 months. Says Xbox is still way behind on Sony on exclusives. You can argue that, but I think we will start to have a lot more soon. Starfield will probably be the biggest one, and we'll start to see more. Okay, so Slayer did a couple overnight tips. The first overnight tip, he says, I want to say I appreciate the work you're putting into these live react and recap videos. I enjoy your input on these, and hopefully you'll get to recover over your day off. I mean, I hope. I know, I sound terrible. What can you do? In fact, what I might do is I might go grab a lozenge in a minute. And then Slayer did another $1.50 tips. And by the way, I enjoyed the reveal of Starfield yesterday. The game has detailed system for customization. Also, I enjoyed the fact the game is big with many planets to explore. I'm sure the planets should have attention to detail. Actually, I feel the opposite. I do. I actually feel like, sadly, the vast majority of the planets, if they are procedurally generated like they're claiming, I feel the vast majority of the planets will not have a lot to them. Like I said, maybe there'll be 10, 15 story planets that have areas you go to, and there's plot there, and there's settlements there that are important and have big story missions. And then the rest of the planets are just going to be like, oh, you land and you grind for resources in kind of a boring way, just like No Man's Sky. Again, we've kind of been there and done that and seen what this style can do in games. So it's not like we don't have a precedent or we don't have a groundwork that's been laid. It's been laid, What's up, B. Stevens? How you doing? Shout out to Beast Bod, who tipped $1.50. Says Tekken 2 is super affordable on PSN. It's listing for $9,999. How nice. How nice of them. I think that may be a pricing goof. I'm pretty sure they're not actually trying to charge $10,000 for Tekken 2. Perhaps Tekken 2 is one of the games we'll check out today. I'm sure it's going to be ridiculously bad looking. I mean, it was a PS1 game. I love Tekken 2. That was the game I won our tournaments in the arcade. But man, that game is definitely rough. I remember how bad it looks. So. Graves Fiend 696 tipped me $4.20. Thank you, Graves Fiend. I appreciate that. He says the following. Don't do what you want, do what you can. Do a date night or a picnic. Both are romantic and cost effective. All of America is in your boat. It's how we adjust it at my house. Maybe adjust your expectations. Love you, longtime fan, no hate. No, listen. People get the wrong impression. I swear to God, people think like, oh, it's Phil's day off and he says he wants to have a meal out with his wife. So they go to a fine dining restaurant with candle lights and music and they spend $200 on a meal. No. I'm talking as simple as, oh, we just like to eat outside of our house one meal a week because every other meal we're home cooking because we're trying to save money. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that you're just trying to go somewhere to eat outside the home is something different for variety, so you don't feel stir crazy because you've been at home all week, every day, eating at home. You know what I'm saying? And a day to not have to cook when you cook all week long is just, it's more relaxing than having to say, well, because we were talking about it, and we're like, well, what happens if today's not a good day for me? And I don't raise a lot of tips, and we just don't have a lot of money for tomorrow. Like, well, we can't eat out. What are we going to do? We're going to have to get, like, something real cheap to just whip together at home, you know? Maybe try to get some, like, $10 and share a meal. I don't know, frozen meal. Wow, what a great meal for our day home. You know what I see? What can you do? And I hear you. Listen, I totally hear you, Graves Fiend. Everyone's in the same boat because this fucking inflation is bullshit. Inflation is bullshit. It doesn't even have to exist. It's our government failing us. That's exactly what it is. Our government is failing us, and they are not doing a good job of helping the American people. It's fucked up how bad that they're doing of a job. And we're the ones that have to suffer for it. Not them. Do you think the politicians are feeling the punch or feeling the pinch of inflation? They don't care. They're fucking rich. We're the ones who feel it, but then they don't fix it. So anyway, I hear you, all right? Listen, I get 1 day off a week, okay? 1 day off. Not 2, not 3. I get 1 day off a week. During that day, here's what I do. Here's literally what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'm going to wake up early so I can go grocery shopping. I'm going to go grocery shopping and buy all store brand stuff, literally not a single name brand product because I'm trying to save as much money as possible. So you're buying the lower grade stuff. Still fine, still okay. It's not terrible stuff, but trying to save money, right? For 6 home cooked meals. Actually, in reality, more than that because we eat more than that. You know, we have more than 1 meal a day, but 6 dinners, you know, trying to save money. And then whatever I need for around the house, I'm going to come home, unpack, and then we're going to go out and we're going to do what we need to do for the day. Whether that means, you know, buy pet supplies for Jasper, which I know for a fact we need to get him pet food food this week, cat food. He's out, or going to be out. Excuse me. I think, no, we're getting haircuts tomorrow. We need our haircut. We haven't got our haircut in like a long ass time, and our hair is all the way going down our back of our neck here. So we got our haircuts. The first time we were able to get one in like 3 weeks. We tried to schedule it, and it's been like, I guess, very busy. So we're getting our haircut. That's something we got to spend money on. And I believe we do have an important appointment. Yeah, we do. In the afternoon that we have to get to. All right? So there you go. So, you know, in all of that, okay, in all of that I just mentioned, where's the fun? Grocery shopping, buying pet food for Jasper, getting your hair cut, and going to an important appointment. Where's the one fun thing that we kind of get to do a week? Eat one meal together outside the home. Seriously. It's not like we're going to constantly be spending, we're going to go and spend a $200 meal. So we're not even asking for that. We just want to have one meal so we can not feel like we're fucking stir crazy, stuck at home, cabin fever shit, you know? And again, to not have to cook is a good thing. I think people really get the wrong impression. They do. Because again, I have a bunch of scumbags out there who spin everything in a really toxic, negative way, right? Like right now, I'm not even kidding. I booted up my stream today. Okay, now here I am all weekend long. You guys know where I've been and what I've been doing. You know why my voice sounds the way it does. Everything that I raised this weekend went to bills. I paid 2 giant bills this weekend. It was my condo dues and my internet bill. So, no exaggeration. You know, all the money that comes in went right out the door. Okay? The moment I got it, it was gone. And, you know, I'm trying to raise the last couple of days. I'm trying to raise enough tips to have a nice day off on Tuesday with my wife. And I sit down here on the stream to turn it on, and a troll is sitting there in the chat saying, you spent $900 on a mobile game on Friday. And it makes me feel like shit. because it's bullshit, and I'm so tired of it. I'm just, it's not even to the point of exhausting anymore. It's like these people are such scumbags, and they just they won't let up. They just will never, they're never going to let this shit go anymore. Like, every dollar I make, right, now, it has to be, Phil spent it on a mobile game, or Phil did this, Phil scammed his fans, everything, And it's just so fucking mentally and emotionally exhausting. I'm here, I'm having a tough weekend here. I sound like shit, I feel like shit, right? And I'm just trying to make ends meet so I can have a nice day off with my wife on Tuesday, which I feel like we deserve for the amount of content that I put out and I work my ass off, and the amount of stress that I have to go through. And especially this week, doing all different things to try to put out unique content for you guys because you wanted it. You asked me for years to do it. So I stretched myself thin this week with the amount that I've been talking. And that's why I sound like this, And here I am, literally couldn't be further from the truth. All my money that I raised gone to bills. Bank account goes from like $1,000 to zero to pay these bills. And now I'm like, okay, I hope I have a couple good days. And then I have one decent day and one bad, slow day. And I'm like, oh, damn, this sucks. Now it's really like penny pinching. How am I going to have a day off on Tuesday with my wife? And then this fucker comes in and has to say something like that. Now what happens? Idiots see that and believe it, right? Oh, so this is what the guy does, man. He spends all his money on fucking mobile games, man. No. You've been saying it for so many years. I'm just so tired of it. It's so fucking exhausting. I just, it makes me feel awful. I'm already feeling awful. And then it's feeling awful on top of feeling awful. And I just had enough of it. Like, I don't know. They're just, and of course, what are they going to do? They're going to sit there and make more videos about nonsense. It's just bullshit. It's an endless cycle of bullshit, It really shouldn't be allowed. People shouldn't just be allowed to lie on the internet about someone. It is defamation, And it pisses me off. It makes me feel terrible. And I'm tired of it. But what's the defense? There is none. You can't stop it. People will say what they're going to say. They're going to do what they're going to do. And you can either be defeated or you can move on from it and just keep doing your thing. And that's, kind of what I have to do is just try to say no, even though these idiots will say this a million times and every possible thing that people are trying to spin in a way that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just ignore it, right? That's what I have to do. But I hope you guys understand, it wears you out. I feel really worn out right now because I had a week where I really feel like I worked my ass off to do all this stuff for you guys, and I'm in a bind today, in regards to having a day off tomorrow, and now I got to put up with this shit. No, I don't. In truth, I don't. I don't have to put up with it. And say, fuck down. Fucking scumbags. Enough is enough with their bullshit. Okay? So I've had enough. And just understand it's all bullshit. It always has been. It always will be. The shit that they say about me, At this point, the thing is, people who are my viewers don't care anymore. They're like, dude, we've heard this story for fucking how many years? You're so full of shit. Enough is enough. You don't care. I don't care. But then they say it. And then idiots come in and believe it. Like, oh my God, man. Ugh. Oh, man. Anyway. So, Graves Fiend, getting back to the topic at hand here. I hope you understand the point I'm trying to make. My one day off a week that I get to spend with my wife is literally 60-70% fucking work-related shit when I mean, oh, I got to fucking grocery shopping or whatever. Like, the one thing we get to enjoy together a week is having a meal out of the house. It's the one fucking thing. And even that's too much, I guess. Oh, God forbid that Phil wants to have a nice meal with his wife once a week. You should just stay home and cook again for the 7th day in a row. Okay. Anyway. All right. Graves Fiend actually says, that's a good explanation. All good. He had the wrong impression. No worries. I'm not feeling, like you anything bad. I'm not feeling like you were trying to be mean to me or anything like that. Okay. Okay. Blind Starfield fanboy. Oh, God. Blind Starfield fanboy tipped $10. All right. Get rid of this fucking idiot. Says, you are wrong. Starfield is great. Here's some money to prove it. Right. All right. That's why I haven't been updating the leaderboard, is because this is the biggest tip. So thank you to the blind Starfield fanboy for the tip. Okay. All right. All right. Oh, there's more YouTube site shout-outs to do, I guess. They came in. B-Boy Cyclone did a super chat saying, won't streaming on YouTube and playing the streaming games on the PlayStation Plus service affect the gameplay? There's a difference. It's called downloading versus uploading. They are different. Theoretically, if I'm live streaming to you guys, that should not affect it if I'm downloading a game off of PlayStation Network and playing it live as a stream. But that's theoretically. And what I mean by that is, sadly, reality is not truly based on how things should happen theoretically. And I can tell you that there's a strong chance that even though I should be able to live stream a PS3 game and not have it be affected by the fact that I'm broadcasting on YouTube, it probably will. Again, theoretically, oh no, the download and upload is different, right? Shouldn't affect it. If both were downloads, then yes. If both were uploads, then yes. But they're two different things. But sadly, I hate to say it, that's not reality. In reality, you see these things negatively affect each other all the time for no good reason, but they do. It could be just infrastructure. It could just be that the fucking lines that I'm playing on just are not high-end fiber optic fucking lines, and that they do affect it. I don't know. I'm not a technical fucking guy to really understand it. But yes, I mean, essentially what I'm here to show you today, okay, is my firsthand experience with the PlayStation Plus premium service. That's it. This is not, oh, this will be exactly what you will experience. This is what you experience if you're me. So if you're a content creator and you're interested in getting this service, here's what you're going to get. Here's how it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to affect it or not. The thing is, everyone's situation is different. Some people will have a dedicated internet line. Some people will have a shared internet line. Some people will have fiber optics. Some people will have, like a cable modem. Some people will have satellite internet. Some people will have fucking dial-up. All right, like 2 people, but still, some people will have dial-up. So no matter what I do today will not be representative of your experience, because I don't know what your experience is. I don't know who your ISP is. This is just going to be me showing you what it's like for me, okay? Okay. The Bear has to me $4.20 and says, I hear ya. This one goes out for you, buddy. Start singing in the woods. There you go. The Bear has some good singing techniques. We've heard the Bear all throughout the Corey playthrough, and I appreciate that very much. Okay. Yak Almighty just re-upped his membership for 13 months, which means he has earned the Regal Crown Chat badge. Congratulations to Yak Almighty. He says, how is everything going? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing as well as I reasonably can do, I guess, given the circumstances. feeling very run down, and feeling very, hoarse in the throat from the content I've been putting out, but doing my best. Gamer Guy just hit me $4.21, says no Gears of War either yesterday. Disappointing event, too many games for next year, not enough this year. I mean, yeah, and here's the thing. Microsoft bought all these studios over the course of the last 5 years, and here we are, it's 2022, and what games are coming out from those studios? Starfield. Yeah, I can definitely understand. I almost feel like there's going to be a year coming up where there's going to be this insane amount, just like a dump of games. And I'm not saying a dump of bad games. I'm saying a dump of games in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, just boom. Here's a ridiculous amount of games from Microsoft Studios because they've been working on these for so long, and finally they're all ready. But it certainly feels that way, doesn't it? Like, we're waiting. Okay, where are the games from the studios? Where are the games from all these studios they bought? When are they coming? And then all of a sudden it's going to be like boom, 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 boom. One year we're going to have like 12 really good games. All Game Pass games and shit. It would blow you away, right? I think so. But right now, I can definitely understand why some people were completely underwhelmed. I totally get it. Spawn Killer to the $1.50 says, who still has dial-up? You know, maybe like your grandmother. You know, someone who really doesn't actively use the internet that much would likely have dial-up internet, I would think. Then again, you would say, well, who still has cable, right? I know people who have cable. Why would you have cable TV? Just because it's the legacy thing and you never wanted to upgrade to the digital. You see? Snow Carl to the $1.50 says, I've noticed you're putting in a lot of effort recently, making jokes, making quirky accents, and singing. I think it's really good. I have no idea what you're talking about. Have you been doing this consciously? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't. I guess if it's happening and it's a factually documented thing, I'm not noticing it. It's just happening. Cameron to the $1.50 says, could you put on jeans if we hit the tips goal today? Would you ever buy new t-shirts or button-ups? Your fashion has been the same for the past decade. It's time you started improving it. Wow. All right, let's address this one by one. First of all, you know what? I'm going to get a lozenge. There should be in my bathroom. Hold on, I'm going to grab one. Hello, Jasper Kitty. Hello. All right. Jasper is in the office. Jasper Kitty is in the office. I let him in. My wife is currently not home. And I let him in, but she might come home. I'm trying to see. She probably won't be home for a bit. So, but Jasper Kitty is here, and he wants to sniff my lozenge. Jasper Kitty, say meow. He won't say it. He meowed to me in the hallway. He's gone already. Seriously? You're leaving already. You just came in. You're leaving already. I mean, I'm not going to make you stay if you don't want, Jasper, but I'm shocked that you're leaving already. You wanted to come in. Now he's coming back in. Okay. So let us address these things that Cameron has asked one by one. Okay? Number one, can you put on some jeans if you hit your tips goal today? I mean, do you really want me to? Does it matter? Do you want me to put on jeans? The reason... Actually, the tie-in to that is the same as the second half of the question. Let me read the second half of the question. The second half of the question is, would you ever buy new t-shirts or button-ups? Your fashion has been the same for the past decade. It's time you started improving it. Okay? So, let's address both of these. Why is Phil not wearing, like, jeans or long pants, typically, when he's streaming? And why does he always wear the same game-related t-shirts, right? I can answer these questions for you, all right? When I am in this room and I am doing my streams for you guys, typically the door's closed. Typically, okay? Sometimes it's not. For the most part, it is. Why? I've explained this a million times. I'll reiterate it again. My home, the way it was built, has very high ceilings, and it's kind of like an echo chamber. If I, right now, go to my hallway right this, I say, hello. I can hear my voice reverberating through the halls all the way into my main hallway, down the staircase, and all downstairs you can hear it. So you could literally right now, no exaggeration, be downstairs in my home at the other side of the house, standing in the corner, and I would say, hello, and you'd hear me. As if I was standing next to you. Seriously, you can hear it. That's how my house was designed. All right? Now, oh, hello, here he is. People are like, let me see Jasper. Here he is. Here's the Jasper Kitty. So, what I did is when I moved here, I put soundproofing foam all over the walls of my office, okay? And as you can see, what that did is it made it so that when I close my door, in general, you don't hear that much echo. Without this soundproofing foam, it's absolutely terrible. All right? It's like, it sounds like I'm living in a cave. All right? So, I don't want to sound like I'm living in a cave when I'm streaming, so I have this soundproofing foam. For the most part, it sounds decent when I'm in the office. He's licking my hair. He sounds decent when I'm in the office, okay? There you go. Now, if I'm streaming and someone is home, like my wife, I don't want to have the door open because literally it would sound as if I'm standing right next to you. And can you imagine me standing next to you talking in your ear just like this when I'm streaming games and I was right this close to your ear and I'm talking to you and it's really annoying because I just keep talking. You see? So, you know, I had the conversation with Kat. She's like, no, please, when you stream, you got to have the door closed. You know, you can't do anything in the house. It sounds like you're constantly hollering at everyone. So, the door has to be closed. Now, Jasper, what happens when I close the door here? Jasper, what happens when I close the door? You know, tell them. He smells the menthol on my breath. He loves menthol. So I got this lozenge in my mouth. He smells the menthol. He's like, ooh, I like the smell. Anyway, so when I close the door, all right, it stops the echoing in the house. But sadly, it causes this office to get incredibly stuffy. Because why? There's a million electronics in here. Just right now, I have my television, my PS5, the Ethernet hub over there, and all the power adapters plugged in. I've got controller on, this laptop, my microphone, webcam. Over here, I got the mixer device, Focusrite, whatever it's called, for the microphone. I've got my PC, my two monitors over there, the modem, the power hub at the bottom. You know, it's the surge protector power hub. We got all this stuff going on. It's all electronics that are on. The air in this room becomes so stagnant, so stuffy, so dried out and yucky, all right, that it just doesn't feel good, all right? When you come in this room and you close the door, first of all, it heats up. This room typically is warmer than the rest of the house by about 10 degrees just naturally. Now, if there's a day when there's sun outside, the sun in the afternoon beats on my office wall and heats this room up another 10 degrees. So there's times when I'm in here sweating profusely, and then I go on break, I open the door, I walk into my house, it feels like I'm in an igloo. Like, what the hell? What a temperature differential, right? Between the two. It's ridiculous, the amount of differential that there is. So, that's essentially what I'm in every day. Now, during the fall and during the winter months, okay, I don't have my air conditioner in the window. Instead, the window's open. And I have a fan that I have on that blows the air in. So during those months, generally when it's cooler temperatures, it's not that bad in here, all right? I'm usually able to wear longer pants. That's what I usually do. I wear longer pants, like sweatpants or pajama pants or something like that. And I wear my shirts. During the spring and summer months, it's much warmer in here. So I put the air conditioner into the window. Ooh, here he comes. I put the air conditioner into the window. And when it's hot enough, I turn it on to cool the room down. But I don't want to do that all the time. Right now, I just have the fan on, okay? So, what do you do when you're in a room that's typically warm and stuffy? You wear light clothing, right? If I were to be wearing jeans and a button-down shirt in this room all the time, I would be hot, like, all the time. I would be sweating and, like, feeling, like, overheated. So, I'm wearing clothes that are allowing my body to aerate by having my legs exposed, by having my arms exposed, by being a light fabric. You know, you're absolutely right. I could wear nicer clothes in here. Just so you guys know, what I wear on streams is not what I wear out. When I go outside of this home, I'm not wearing this stuff, okay? It's a very rare occurrence where I'd be wearing a gamer shirt and a bunch of shorts. Maybe if I'm running out quickly to grab something between the streams, I leave my clothes on. But in general, on my day off, I dress completely differently. Let me tell you guys, the designer clothing comes out. I'm fully decked to the nines. Jasper, get away from my drink. Absolutely. Full ensemble. Like, I look like I'm going down the catwalk in Milan on my days off. I'm a completely different person. Okay? I'm just kidding, by the way. No, I don't have designer clothing or anything like that. But the point I'm making is I actually look like a different person when I'm not on stream. I'm not wearing this stuff. Okay? So I do have nice button down shirts. I actually have some nice pullovers that years ago, like 2-3 years ago, my wife and I were going to some secondhand stores and found really cheap, for like $10 you get like a pullover that looks amazing. It's like new. And we ended up buying a few different things that we wear in, when we're not at home. Could I wear those in here? Yes. Would I look very different? Yes, I would. And I'd also be very uncomfortable. I'd be too warm. It just so happens this office is the smallest room in the house. It is, except for the laundry room is smaller. But this room is smaller than all the other rooms in the house. So because of that, it just gets so stuffy, The only way I would be able to wear like a, long sleeve button down shirt or a pullover and jeans in here would be to have that air conditioner on full blast all the time. Then there'd be a temperature differential. I'd keep the temperature down in here and I'd be able to basically not be overheated constantly. Is it really worth it? Really? Is it really worth it? Seriously. I don't know. But anyway, I think you see the point of what I'm saying. If anything, I mean, I know how silly this sounds. Okay, I know. Who cares what I wear on a stream? It's not like I look like a bum or I look like an asshole. At least I'm wearing gaming-related stuff, In regards to, wearing the same stuff, well, I'll be honest with you. Would you like to know? Why do I wear the same shirts all the time? So here's the deal. When I started as a YouTuber, 14 years ago, I wasn't on camera that often. Okay? It was maybe a couple times a week I would do a vlog, like the week in preview, or a channel update, and those were like special videos, and I would actually purposely try to wear like gamer related stuff, all right, in order to look the part. I'm supposed to be an internet content creator, right? And so what I started doing is I went to conventions and I would buy gamer related shirts and things at conventions. Sometimes I admittedly didn't even understand the references, and you guys would tell me in the videos what I was wearing. Okay, then what ended up happening was over time I became a full-time live streamer. And when I became a full-time live streamer, all right, I realized I'm going to be on camera all day, every day. All right. So at that time, I already had a bunch of shirts that were saved up from when I had been a part of the Loot Crate program, right? By the way, I don't know, the chat just froze. Are you guys okay? Can you see the stream? The chat completely froze for me. Is the stream still working? There we go. Okay, it's working now. I don't know, that was weird. It froze for like a minute. Anyway, so when I became a full-time streamer and I needed to be on camera every day, I said, well, what do I got? I got all these shirts from when I had the Loot Crate partnership years and years ago. Loot Crate would send me a shirt like a month. So over a course of like 2 years, I had like 24 shirts from Loot Crate. Some of them were pretty good. Mostly pop culture references, some gaming, but other things. Okay. And at that time, also, as I started becoming a full-time streamer, my wife would every once in a while be out and buy me a shirt. She'd see a shirt she liked at a store that was gaming related and be like, oh, Phil will like that shirt. I'll get it for him. And you've seen over the years, every once in a while, there's a new shirt in the rotation. Like the Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt. That's, my favorite wrestler from the Attitude Era that she got for me and stuff like that, right? So that's basically what I wear on streams, is these shirts. Now you may say, well, why don't I see new ones? Why doesn't Phil get new ones? Well, because I have so many. I have a whole drawer in my dresser that's game shirts for these streams. That drawer's full. There's not even room to have more shirts. I'd have to either reorganize or throw clothing out to have room for more shirts. I have a good like 20 some shirts that I rotate on the streams. Maybe within a month you'll see the same shirt twice, 3 times tops, but maybe twice. Okay. So That's what I wear. Now, could I buy more shirts to wear on streams for variety? Yes. Do I need to? I mean, I like the shirts I have. They wear fine. Okay? I'm the kind of guy, and I've told you guys this over the years. I'm the kind of guy that wears something till it wears out. I would wear this Pac-Man shirt until it's full of holes or until the logo wears off of it, okay, and I can't read it anymore. I wear shoes till there's holes in them. Pants till there's holes in them and they're falling off me. I had holy underwear. I'm not exaggerating. I talked about it on my streams. I was wearing underwear full of holes for about 2 years until finally my wife said to me earlier this year, enough is enough. Your underwear literally look like Swiss cheese. You have to get new underwear. So there you go. Jasper is now pawing the TV in approval. He agrees. So there you go. You know, that's how I am. So, first of all, do I just have money to blow on shirts? I mean, not that a shirt is super expensive. I'm sure I could go out and get a gamer shirt for like $10 at like Kohl's or something, or Target. It's not a huge deal, but I have a lot. I have a good variety. I don't feel like I'm wearing the same shirt every day, right? No one's really complained about how I look on my streams, right? And why waste the money? I feel like it's a waste. Like right now, right? Okay, not right now, because right now, like I said, money's tight. I couldn't even go to a store right now and buy anything if I wanted to. But, you know, at some point, I could go to a store and buy another 10 new shirts. But then I guess the discussion is, what 10 shirts do I retire? Right? In order to have room for the new shirts. Because I don't even have room in my drawer. Right? Anyway, I guess I've gone on way too long about this discussion. If you guys really want to see me wearing stuff out of the ordinary, all right, just on a whim, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm chewing the tiny piece that was left of the cough drop. I just think it would be odd that for like a random day you guys want to see me wearing something else. Like, here's the thing. When it's the fall, okay, and I go out, I kind of dress how Angry Joe dresses on his content. Like, I go out, I have jeans, a t-shirt that's a nice t-shirt. It's not like a gamer shirt. And I wear my bomber jacket. A leather bomber jacket. Like, well, it's not really bomber. It doesn't have that. Well, it's a leather jacket. I kind of wear that. That's what I wear out. That's how I dress, normally. I don't look anything like this. Okay? So, again, if you wanted to see me dress like that, all right, it's not a big deal. I don't care. I would do it on a stream if you wanted. I don't see the point, because then I would have to, like, pump the air conditioner all the way up. Go to get it cold enough in here to be wearing long pants and, like, long sleeves and a jacket, or else I'm going to be sweating my ass off. I'd have to have it, like 70, 65 in here, so I'm not sweating. You see? All right? Is that a good enough explanation? If you guys, once a week, I think my wife might actually be coming home. Was that her, buddy? Did you hear her? Was that Cat? Was it her? He's alerted. I think he thinks that it may be her, but I think we're not sure if that was her or was a neighbor. He's hilarious. He's frozen listening. He's like, is that her? Is she home? But anyway, if you guys wanted to see me like once a week, dress up like that, you know, dress down Fridays. I don't care. It's up to you guys, all right? It's totally up to you guys if you want to see that. I think it's silly, but if that's what you wanted, I would consider doing it, okay? All right. Cameron tipped another $1.50, said, would you consider playing Knights of the Old Republic 2? Yes. I have it. And I would consider doing it if you guys wanted it. Ponage101 tipped me $5. Says, remember what I said a while back? If the live reacts don't do as good as you hope, the idea of being a Muppet like some YouTubers might do better for you. Exactly. If I was doing these live reacts and I was screaming and acting like an asshole, you know, they'd probably have way more traction. But you know me, I'm me. I'm not a Muppet. I'm not, I'm not going to overact and do backflips and scream and go, and act like a jerk or a cartoon, you know. Anyway, Email did a whopping $50 tip. Thank you so much, Email. Let's get that on the leaderboard. And that gets up to $84 in tips. So thank you for that, Email. With that, it's Gunner Glasses. Thank you, sir. Drip Fridays. I'll wear Dolce & Gabbana. Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana. Wow. Good afternoon, Derek. How are you? Okay, there we go. Thank you, Email. I really appreciate it. I need the help today, so thank you. I think we got a new member, too. So, Mango. Oh, hold on. Astronaut did a super chat and says, wait, the PS Plus tiers are stream only? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean, Astronaut. We're going to look at it together. I'm not sure what you mean, but we're going to investigate this together. Mango did a super chat saying, my boyfriend and I love Jasper. There you go. And AJ Gamer became a member. Thank you, AJ Gamer. Now, I would love to tell you guys where we are with memberships, but I can't because it's glitched. I can't open my monetization page on YouTube because all I get is an error that says, oops, something went wrong. Despite the fact that you guys can still become members, can still do super chats and all that, my tab doesn't work. It's glitched. They must have screwed something up on the website, so I can't open it to see how many members I have on the channel. So it sucks. I would love to say, oh, we got a new member, and now we hit a new milestone. I don't know if we did or not. Okay? It sucks. I don't know what happened here, why YouTube's not working today properly, but it's not. All right? All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a brief break for me to use the restroom. It's only going to be like a minute, okay? And then I'm going to come back, and we're going to explore the new PlayStation Plus. We're going to do that till roughly 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. At that time, I'm going to go on a short break, like a 15-minute break. When we come back, I'm going to set up for the Capcom Showcase event, and we're going to do live react and then a recap reactions to that, and that's the stream. So in reality, we're not going to have a lot of time to look at PS Plus today, but I am going to do a full stream of this on Friday so that we can actually look through everything and maybe download and play some games. All right? For now, we're just going to kind of see what's there, give it a first shot of trying some of the stuff and see how it runs and how it looks, and then we're going to do more in-depth on Friday when we have more time. I know, today I would have loved to do the whole stream, and all of a sudden Capcom announces, oh, we're doing an event at 3 p.m. It's like, it never ends. It's usually like an endless cycle. All right? All right. Give me like 2 minutes. All right? And then we'll get started here. Cool.